Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, February 10th. I have notes today because I have a lot of stuff that I want to go over. So the first thing I want to go over is last night before I went to bed, I was scrolling through Telegram, looking at some of the different channels that I watch on there. And three things popped up that kind of caught my eye. The first one is it was a comment about the Coots border blockade, and somebody had said, and it was like beautiful drone footage up high, viewing all of the vehicles parked all over the place. And it said, we're not going anywhere until the Nuremberg trials start, or something like that. I did post that on my Telegram channel. So that makes me wonder, are they about ready to start showing those? And that is part of what they're there for. I don't know. I mean, that caught my eye. I've not seen anything like that. I've not heard anybody else say we're not going anywhere until the Nuremberg trials start. So anybody know anything else about that? Let me know. Another thing that I saw that I thought was interesting is it appears now that they are starting to get tour buses and taking people to Ottawa. So they're gathering more steam, heading that way. And the other one that I saw was, it was kind of like a poster of some sort where they were putting dates and times and locations for people to do some sort of a protest at the Super Bowl. I'm not sure what kind of a protest it is. If you know what that is, like, post it in here, because, I think that would be an awesome way to get a lot of people's attentions, is just throw a wrench into the whole Super Bowl stuff that happens. The more I learn about it, the more disgusted I am with the whole Super Bowl thing, which I'll get into later. Let's see. Oh, and this, so after I watched that stuff on Telegram last night, of course I tried to go to bed, and literally in my head, I was like, I got kind of excited when I saw some of that stuff, because I can feel that energy and the steam building and everything. And when I laid down, I was literally hearing like that orchestra music that plays at the very end of the music. You know how the violins start going faster and faster, and the drums start drumming faster and faster, and the guy is standing up there with these things and he's pointing and everything, and it feels like that to me. That culmination is like coming up again. That energy. So in the I guess this morning, I ended up with this dream. I was at a restaurant with somebody, and there were all of these pregnant women all over the place. And I remember, I don't know if she was like the hostess or the waitress or whatever, and she came over, and I mean, she was just huge. And I remember her standing to the side and showing us like her big old belly. And we said, when is the due date? And she said, it's the 10th. Well, we were there on the 11th, so she was a day over the due date. And then I woke up this morning and I was like, wait a minute, today is the 10th and tomorrow is the 11th. So I don't know if that means anything. I don't normally get dates in my dreams, but I thought that was kind of strange. Also, watching Janine and Jean-Claude this morning, they were saying that the government up in Canada has basically told whoever, we need to get something rectified by the 11th, or by Saturday. So there's lots of, thought processes on what could happen to bring this down. Are they literally is the government going to cave in, or are they going to do something different? Because right now, we, the people, are gathering up steam, and we're using social media to get that steam gathered up. It's so nice to finally have the social media being used in our favor instead of used against us like it had been so long. So speaking about that, remember the last video that I did, I had mentioned that there was some sort of an apology coming from the Divine Masculine. So I did that video on Tuesday morning, And a good friend of mine sent me a text message on Tuesday afternoon, and she goes, I just watched your video from this morning, and I need to tell you what happened this morning. And I may have this story a little bit wrong, but you'll understand the point of it. Apparently, her and her wife had one of their nephews staying at the house like 9 or 10 years ago, and the daughter, because he didn't have any place else to go. And he was apparently still using while he was under their roof. And long story short, not being in his full mind, tried to put a hitman out on my friend. Now, I have known her for a long time. I trust what she tells me, so I do not think she would make that up. And she said that apparently on Tuesday, she said, I got a heartfelt apology from that nephew from a clean man. So he must have cleaned up his ways, and he was giving an apology to her exactly 9 years after that whole thing went down. And, I think he must have got arrested. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and reread the text. We haven't talked about the whole story. But then she saw the video that I posted about the heartfelt apology from the divine masculine. I don't think that message was meant directly for her, but it's just interesting, the timing on that. And I still feel like that is a collective divine masculine. So I still feel like there is going to be some major divine masculine energy apologies coming. But I just wanted to tell you that was confirmation for me that I was on to something there. Also, again, I want you to recognize, for those of you that were trying to post stuff on Facebook and getting the message out, we did make a difference talking about this. I talked to somebody yesterday at work, the Shredded guy, and he told me he just found out about what was going on in Canada like 2 days ago. This has been going on for almost 2 weeks. He just found out about it. Another gal that I work with, who I've been talking about what's going on in Canada for a while, and she watches my videos. Apparently, her and her wife were watching the news the other night, and the stuff about the Freedom Rally showed up on the regular news. And she said, I knew about that, and I knew about that, and I knew about that. And her wife said, how did you know about all of that? And she said, Jody told me. So we are making a difference. And I find for me that it is much easier to bring in what's going on in Canada, because I live in the USA. And the last time I tried to bring up some stuff with the whole vaccine stuff, the people in my community, in my world, my life, my family, all jumped my shit. And at least I can bring out what's going on in Canada, and it's like a little bit removed, but it's still getting the point across that this is going on, and it's going to trickle down into us, because if they can't figure out that the people are taking their power back, they will. I mean, it just blows my mind that this just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and that we, the people, are not standing down, and that makes me very, very excited. So if you wake up in the morning and you're depressed about something, I can't not figure out why, because you've got to know that what we have been waiting for is actually happening. And again, it may not be happening exactly like we thought it was going to, but there is shit going down in a big, big way. Let me look at my notes and see if there's anything else. I think I've talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. The only other thing that I would like to ask is, now that we're watching what's going on in Canada and Australia and the different places that this whole freedom rally is going on, is there anything specific that you have learned that you maybe did not know beforehand? I think the one thing that maybe I learned is that I knew this was coming because my quantum healing session kind of told me this, but I guess what I have learned is that people were madder than they let on. You know, because when I see people come into my office and everything, you know, you kind of think everybody's just kind of going about their business every day. But I think with what we're seeing going on in Canada, people were more fed up than they let on, and that power has just kind of like taken over the whole world. I would hate to be a global elite right now because they have just got to be crapping down their leg, and I love it. So anyway, I think that's it. Again, if I have any of my facts wrong, feel free to post them in the comments. You know, I mean, I don't know. Did I mention? I think I mentioned there's that blockade in between Detroit and Windsor too. Another one. It's just like things just keep popping up, like these little pieces of whatever, you know. It's like a fire started in Ottawa and it's spreading out all over the place. So anyhow, I'm done. I will talk to you later. Have a good Thursday. Bye.